Hey guys, CryptoDad here again. Thanks for joining me on the Wednesday morning, Wednesday afternoon hardware wallet roundup. I'm glad you can be here. We're going to try to focus on wallets and hardware wallets the best we can. I'm going to run through some news stories because there's been a whole bunch of really amazing news stories coming out lately, so I will touch on some of the headlines. And we're going to play around with my Tangem wallet a little bit. I thought maybe I might try to do a test restore to show you how that works. And I've also got a Domino bit plate hardware metal medium for backing up your seed phrase, and we'll take a look at that. I'll talk a little bit about seed phrases and how to secure your crypto. But once again, I'm here with the rig. We're on snow day today here in Michigan. We got a text early this morning from my kids' school, Grand Rapids Christian schools, that they're all closed for today because of the snow. It's not that bad today, but it is wet and sloppy. Really wet, sloshy, slushy snow. So maybe that was why they closed the schools. And from the weather predictions, between the 10th and the 17th, Grand Rapids is estimated to receive 20 inches of snow in that time frame. So there's a lot more to come. Hey. And Kitty was outside today. I always go out with him in the morning. I drink coffee out on the porch. And the cat was walking around in the snow and dipping his little paws down into the snow. But he's fine. He came back in and he's just sleeping now. He was out for maybe half an hour this morning and decided to just come on in. So once again, I'd like to thank everyone that's here today. Let's go over to this screen. Let's see. Let's go over here so I can just say hello to everybody, birds, bees, and trees, and Kenny. Thank you for being here early. John Doe, thanks for being here and raising concerns about the security of wallets. That's kind of why I run this channel and this particular live stream. We focus on wallets. W is here. He mentioned if I knew anything about Tangem Pay. I did a couple of searches on Tangem Pay. I didn't see anything recent. Tangem Pay is supposed to be a way to use your Tangem card to make payments, I believe. It seems like in order to do that, it would have to be an upgraded card. That maybe, well, I know it has an NFC chip in it already, but that's just my assumption that they would have to issue a new card for making Visa payments, because not every payment terminal accepts NFT. You know, there are a lot of places where you go where you're still going to need to swipe your card or, you know, at least use that metal type chip that you insert into the payment processor. So, but I don't know. I really don't. So, but thanks for asking that. That's going to be a game changer, kind of an integration with a Tangem wallet and the legacy financial system, which is pretty cool. So let's dive into the news. Oh, and by the way, I still have my hair. I did the thumbnail today, trying my best to look like Gary Gensler, acting surprised that his Twitter account got hacked. That's pretty funny, you know. Elon Musk confirmed that there was unauthorized access to the account, and it was done through someone gained access to a phone number that was associated with the account. So my guess here is that it was a SIM swapping attack on that particular phone number, that they were able to log into that Twitter account. And if it was suspicious login, they probably sent that number a text. But we don't know the whole story. Gensler just said the account was compromised. And then Elon Musk also mentioned that two-factor authentication was not enabled on the SEC Twitter account. So it's nice to know that, my Coinbase account has better security than the SEC's Twitter account, right? That's like basic security, OPSEC security protocol is to lock down your account so no one else can gain access to it. We're more about hardware wallet security, but if you're going to be using crypto, you should also in your repertoire know how to lock down a web-based account, such as your Coinbase account, your Kraken account, any account that you have a login and password for, that you have access to tools for buying and selling crypto, and others. Your email is very important to keep locked down. And I've got two-factor authentication on all of my Gmail accounts and all of my logins. So I guess my security is better than the SEC. That's pretty cool. So let's check this news story. Once again, thank everybody for filtering in. I don't know that it might be that they announced the ETF while we're speaking, right? So maybe we should just kind of keep an eye on the news. I don't see anything yet. So let's hit those news stories that I have queued up here. So yesterday, if you're not aware, there was a tweet from the official SEC Twitter account, or X, that the Bitcoin spot ETF had been approved, and it looked very official. And the market went crazy. And then I don't know how much longer, just maybe within minutes or 15 minutes, I guess, that this was not official, and the account had been compromised, and that the spot Bitcoin ETF had not been approved, at least not yesterday. That's kind of weird, isn't it? Like the day before. Gensler's post came 15 minutes after the SEC's account falsely reported that the spot Bitcoin ETFs were approved. It has not yet approved the listing of spot Bitcoin ETF exchange-traded projects, and that the previous post was false. Multiple outlets published an inaccurate story after the official X account of the SEC posted a tweet claiming that they had approved the ETF. And then he came out and said that no, Twitter account was compromised and an unauthorized tweet was posted. The SEC has not approved the listing and trading of spot Bitcoin exchange-traded products. The SEC also pulled the initial tweet, though it had already racked up millions of views at this point. And a statement was not made by the SEC or its staff. Many had expected the commission to release a decision on the spot Bitcoin ETF sometime in the next 2 days after several asset managers completed some of the final filings for their application. This is a screenshot of the tweet. It looks pretty official. It looks like perhaps they jumped the gun. Somebody at the SEC jumped the gun. But as I mentioned, Elon Musk has confirmed that someone had gained unauthorized access to the account. That doesn't mean that was the cause of this particular tweet, right? It may have been somebody at the office that had scheduled this tweet and then, scheduled it for the wrong date or accidentally posted it too early or something of that nature. We don't know, right? We don't have that information. The SEC may still approve a spot Bitcoin ETF. Gensler nor the SEC's tweet stated that the commission had plans to approve or deny the investment vehicle. A decision is expected on January 10th. That's today. Yeah. All right. The price of BTC surged 2.5% from 46,729 to 47,901 before dropping nearly 7% to 44,701 at the time of the publication. I don't know. I'm just going to throw it out there. What do you guys think about this? Do you think that someone was trying to manipulate the market? Someone was trying to cut the tension? Someone was trying to, whatever you like, you're trying to make a killing on information that you know of, like front run the market on this, something of that nature. I saw some discussions that said if it was a scam and they were trying to, collect a bunch of money because of the volatility, it would have made more sense for them to post an SEC denial of the ETF and have shorted Bitcoin or the market in some way or form. Right, that would have been more effective if the culprit behind all this was trying to, cash in on this. So it's just rather odd that it looked very official. So I'm assuming now the people at the SEC are trying to rework their little announcement so it doesn't look like the one from yesterday. I was wondering if you knew what the biometric with Tangem is. Well, when they talk about biometrics, there's a lot of different ways to implement biometrics. I did a review of a wallet yesterday called the Boop-a-doo. Come on, Rex. Here you go. Go over to my videos. I did the Descent wallet yesterday, and the Descent is a really cool wallet. The biometrics is right there on the device. So it'll take your thumbprint. The Keystone 3 Pro is similar. This is an air-gapped wallet, and it has a fingerprint reader on the back as well for authorizing transactions and opening up the wallet, unlocking the wallet. Now, with Tangem, there's nothing on the card that's going to read your biometrics, right? All it has in there is an NFC chip. The biometrics refers to the Tangem app. And it's basically just saying that, if you have an iPhone that opens with your fingerprint, then you can override your PIN entry and replace it with that. So, in other words, when you first set up the Tangem app, you're going to create a PIN so that when you launch the app, you'll need to authorize the app to open, right? That's your PIN. But you can override that with your biometrics. And if you got an old fingerprint iPhone, it would be your fingerprint. And if you've got a modern or recent iPhone, it would be your Face ID. And that's basically just sort of hijacking the biometrics of your phone for the Tangem app. So in other words, just give you a quick thing here. Let's go over to this guy. I think we got this done here. Doggone, I haven't done it yet. Anyway, when we open up the Tangem app, see, it's asking for my Face ID. So in other words, you can't open up the app without your Face ID. So it's just basically a little bit of extra security on top of the app itself, because the card is your private key. You can't send crypto out of the wallet without the card. So that's your major security. But, there's also a little bit of operational security in that you can't even open up the app. Even if the phone is unlocked, you can't even open up the app without your biometrics. Whether it's your face or your fingerprint, or, if you don't have either of those, it would just be your PIN. It would ask you to enter that PIN when you open up the app. Let's go to the next story. Let's try to get through the news real quick. U.S. senators seek Gary Gensler's report on X breach. Deadline Monday. Ooh, as if Gary Gensler is going to give Congress anything. He's like, the hell with them, right? Yeah, I'm scared. Congress has asked me to give them a report, but with a deadline. Ooh. Two U.S. senators are calling on the United States Securities and Exchange Commission to provide a report to Congress about the January 9th breach of its X account. In a same-day letter to SEC Chair Gary Gensler, Senators J.D. Vance and Tom Tillis described the incident as raising serious concerns about the Commission's internal cybersecurity procedures. Right, they're the ones that are supposed to be securing the U.S. financial system with their regulations, and they can't even keep their Twitter account safe. It also called it antithetical to the Commission's tripartite, that's a big word, tripartite mission to protect investors, maintain fair, orderly, and efficient markets and facilitate capital formation, right? Antithetical. Concerned about the recent hack, which they said introduced widespread confusion. I'll tell you what, it certainly broke the tension, right? Because there's all this tension leading up to this decision. And then, the announcement that it was, had been approved. And then within 15 minutes, the take back was enough to throw a bunch of confusion into the market, but it sort of cut that tension with a knife. Now people are just kind of in limbo and relaxed, So I don't know. It seems like it's a done deal. It had seemed that way for the last couple of weeks that it was going to be a done deal. And we'll find out today, right? We're heading towards it. So that's interesting, right? And I wonder if Gary Gensler is going to show up in front of Congress on Monday morning. I seriously doubt it. And here we are. And thank you, Kenny, for all the news stories this morning. You sent me a bunch of news stories, so I figured we'd cover some of these topics before we dive in. SEC faces massive backlash. A lot of people talking about the hack. Is the SEC trying to cover up its mistake? Balkunas said the SEC might have scheduled the tweet for December 10th. The deadline was set by the agency to approve Bitcoin spot products, but staff members misscheduled it for December 9th. That's what I was mentioning earlier. And then a little bit about Elon confirming the details that there was unauthorized access due to a phone number linked to the account through a third party. Interesting. Skeptical of his story. The Congress is also skeptical of Gary Gensler's story, and the former White House communications director, Anthony Scaramucci, said Gensler was lying when he said the agency's account was compromised. Scaramucci believes an SEC staff member prematurely shared the news, which reflected the amateurish and dishonest nature of the current SEC leadership regime. Well, he's not criticizing the SEC per se, but the current administration leadership of the SEC, right? It boils down to politics. Also in the news about the spot Bitcoin ETF, I believe it was yesterday or the day before when they released their fee structure for participating in the Bitcoin ETFs. And now BlackRock and ARK21 are lowering their fees. Even before the approval, they're lowering their fees to attract customers. So it looks like they're getting into kind of an old-fashioned price war, trying to attract customers. And this is just another sign that this thing is a done deal. In rising competition in the spot Bitcoin ETF race, BlackRock and ARK Investments have engaged in a preemptive fee war, announcing reductions in the fees. Meanwhile, the recent S1 filings reveal a strategic maneuver to attract investors even before securing approval of the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. So I've got all of these news stories linked down below in the description. Just check them out if you want to read more about them. Or I guess they're all in there. Let's put that last one. SEC faces backlash. I don't think I put the link in there. There we go. There you go. Got them all linked for you if you want to read them, read the rest of them. Now let's kind of shift gears over to wallets. This is a very interesting story. Bitcoin's first wallet receives 1.17 million in surprise transaction. Conor Grogan, a director at Coinbase, suggested that the anonymous Bitcoin transfer could be some sort of weird ETF marketing scheme. I guess. An unidentified Bitcoin user transferred 26.9 Bitcoin to the Genesis wallet, the first ever wallet on the Bitcoin network set up by Satoshi Nakamoto, the pseudonymous creator of Bitcoin. The Bitcoin transaction occurred on January 5th, 1:52 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The amount was sent from an emptied wallet to the Genesis wallet, accompanied by a transaction fee of $100, notably higher than average. Well, Bitcoin blockchain fees are high now. But you'll notice there, I do a lot of very small test transactions, and percentage-wise, they're pretty high, like more than 10% of the amount is eaten up in Bitcoin fees as of late, right? But of 100 out of a million is a very small percentage, even though, albeit a bit high for a Bitcoin transaction. But it just kind of gives you kind of a perspective that the Bitcoin blockchain fees tend to get sort of mitigated percentage-wise with larger transfers. All right. Because when I did my video yesterday, I was transferring Bitcoin in and out of the Descent wallet and paid quite a bit in Bitcoin fees, but they were very small transactions. So let's take a look at this on the blockchain. This is the transaction. You can see the blockchain is open and transparent. So you can see here that this 26.917 Bitcoin was transferred to the Satoshi wallet, worth $1,207,742. Well, I'm sorry, $1,207,742. And then we can also look at this is the main wallet, and you can see that they aren't the only ones doing it. Apparently, I guess it's kind of a pastime for some people to send Bitcoin into this wallet. I don't believe that this wallet is active anymore. It's possible, but I don't think anything has moved out of this wallet. And I wasn't aware of this, but it says here that this is the Genesis address. It is owned by Satoshi Nakamoto and contains the unspendable 50 Bitcoin mined from the Genesis block. So apparently 50 of these Bitcoins are unspendable. I guess that was part of the protocol, that the original mined transaction, the original wallet, the original mining payout was unspendable. But as you can see, the balance now is almost 100 Bitcoin. And maybe people are just dropping Bitcoin in there to hopefully get it up there. They still got a ways to go. Yeah, another point. Let's see, it's almost 0.7. So if we look at 0.3 Bitcoin, let's look at 0.3 Bitcoin. Anybody got a fast estimate on that one? 0.3 Bitcoin, that's $13,000. So I don't think any time soon, right? Because you can see people are like peppering. Of course, if you send Bitcoin in there, you can't touch it or you can't access it because I don't know who controls the private key, but if you send Bitcoin to a wallet, there's no takebacks. You can't get it back. So you're basically burning it when you send it into this wallet. But people are doing it just maybe for the thrill of having sent a little Bitcoin into this wallet. Maybe we should do it. But if you look through the transactions, this one was on the 5th, right? So I have to go through a few screens. This is the 6th. We're still in the 6th. And let's see. Here it is right there. 26.9 Bitcoin. Woo! So somebody with deep pockets that wasn't going to miss $1 million worth of Bitcoin sent Bitcoin into this wallet. It's kind of interesting. Sorry. Yeah. So this is the address. Let's send some Bitcoin in there. What the hell? Let's go over to my ledger. Let's see. I think there's some Bitcoin in here. Not much. Okay. Let's check it out. All right. Yeah. Let's do it. Let's go ahead and, of course, I'm going to pay a whole bunch in fees just to get this to happen. Okay. I'm going to enter my PIN here real quick. Whoops. All right. All right. Okay, got it open. Let's zoom in on this. Let's see here. So you can see what's going on my device. I am using a Ledger hardware device, right? So in order to send any Bitcoin out of my wallet, I have to authorize using my device. All right, so let's do a send, and we copied the address of the Satoshi wallet into our clipboard. Where are we here? Right, there we go. There's the wallet. There's the Bitcoin address, and it's got a 1 in front. It's like a legacy address. All right, and let's go to the next screen here. We've got... what do we got? 51. So let's try sending a $5 Bitcoin transaction, and it's going to cost me $12.64. Okay. It may not even let me send it, right? Maybe it will. It's warning me that my fee is more than 10%. It's actually like 300%. But let's do this. Let's say continue. Now I have to authorize on my device. It wants me to open the Bitcoin app. And it's going to break down the transaction for me. All right. There you can see on my screen and on my device. We use the metal button to advance over. There's the amount. There's the address. And then we just click approve. Now we have to also approve that outgoing transaction of the Bitcoin fees that I'm paying on the blockchain. All right. Okay, and there we go. Cool. Let's check it on the blockchain, see what happens. Where were we here? Let's see. I think if I do this, it might take me back to 1, right? Yeah. Where's my 5? Isn't that it right there? No, that's kind of early. Yeah. There's pending incoming at the top, but that's not mine, right? Or let's turn this off. But we can check back in a bit. It might take it quite some time to process. Yeah. 50 Bitcoin is unspendable of the 90. You have to remember when they initially mined this Genesis block and created this wallet, that Bitcoin was practically worthless at the time. So 50 Bitcoin didn't really matter. In fact, I think it was, I forget when the first Bitcoin purchase was made, the pizza purchase. The person that was able to convince a pizza place to accept Bitcoin for a pizza. I believe it was 10,000 Bitcoin, and they were worth less than a penny at the time. So yeah. Yeah, this ought to be interesting. We'll just kind of keep an eye on the blockchain here and see if my transaction comes in. Right, that ought to be interesting. And then we can kind of look at the transaction ID and see that it came from my wallet, right? Well, I don't know. It might not be easy. Oh, well, this looks like it came from a larger wallet, and then maybe it may have been someone might have withdrawn it from an exchange, account. And when you make a withdrawal from an exchange and look at the blockchain, you can see that the exchange, when makes a withdrawal from their own Bitcoin wallet, they bundle it. They bundle a bunch of outgoing transactions. So maybe that's why this one appeared to come from several different places. But we'll keep an eye on that. Now, I wanted to quickly show you a little bit on my Tangem wallet. You trust Ledger Nano X still safe? Yes, yes, yes. I still trust the Ledger Nano X. Now, let's see. John Doe came in early. I don't know if he's still here, but he told us that wallets are not secure, right? Just be careful. My Ledger lost coins and was never plugged in. Doesn't make sense other than pure hacker corruption. Well, there is one other explanation rather than hacker corruption, and that is that you revealed your seed phrase in some way or form. And that's generally when people claim that their hardware wallets were hacked, it generally boils down to that you exposed your seed phrase at some point in the past. You said it was in the drawer, so it was most likely not a malicious smart contract. And you don't say here what crypto it was. So if it's Bitcoin and it suddenly disappeared, you most likely revealed your seed phrase or exposed your seed phrase, or someone stole your seed phrase or saw your seed phrase. Maybe you don't realize it, or you gave it up when you logged into what you thought was Ledger Live, or you gave it to somebody who you thought was tech support. Now, of course, every time someone claims that their hardware wallet was hacked on Reddit, they always, say, well, I didn't do this, I didn't do that, I didn't. They go through this whole laundry list of reasons why it wasn't their fault. But after a lot of discussion back and forth on lots of Reddit posts that I've read, thank you, W, for that. I don't think Tangem supports Lightning Network. There aren't too many wallets that support Lightning Network natively. The Electrum Bitcoin wallet does. And then there's a couple of, where is my wallet there? There's a couple of phone-based wallets that support Lightning. But I don't believe Tangem does. I don't see any functionality with that. Okay, but we're so you can open a channel, which is a way to. The Lightning Network uses Bitcoin, but it uses it in a channel. So you have to fund the channel with real Bitcoin, and then once it's in the channel, you can take advantage of the Lightning Network, low fees and high transaction speed. All right, but you have to interact with other Lightning wallets. Right. I haven't done this yet. I've been meaning to. My wife gave me a book on the, wherever it is. I don't see it around at the moment, on the Lightning Network. So I'm going to probably be talking more about the Lightning Network as the year progresses. But no, as far as I know, Tangem does not support Lightning channels. But let's do a Tangem transaction here. I wanted to, we'll talk about cashing out of stablecoin. So let's take a look here. So I have this stablecoin in my Tangem wallet, and sorry guys. Okay. Doggone it. This may not work because, sorry, I should have done this before I started the live stream, but I didn't. So I'm going to try and see if I can get this to happen. I want to share my phone with you guys on this screen. And okay, there, that's doing that. Let's see if I can. I'm trying to, sometimes if I flip between these, it will kind of kick it in the butt. It did not. Doggone it. This is kind of a glitch. When I first launch X Mirage, I get the Mirage screen instead of my phone screen. Let me see if I can. Nah, it's just not going to do it. Okay, I should have done this before I started the live stream. My bad. So all I can do is just show you my phone. I usually like to have, the share screen of the phone. It's much easier to see. But anyway, so I have this stable coin in my wallet, and it is Tether. But it's a little bit interesting because it's Tron-based Tether. So my dilemma is, how do I convert this into cash, right? What's the easiest way to do this? Well, I have a little system that I've devised with the tools at my disposal, and I'll share it with you. So I can cash out of my Coinbase account. So if I have crypto in any of my wallets, my go-to cash out method is I transfer it to Coinbase and I sell it for US dollar, and then I cash out. But with this Tron-based Tether, I cannot do it that way because Coinbase does not accept Tron-based Tether. The only kind of Tether you can deposit in your Coinbase account is ERC-based Tether. Right, so how am I going to get around this dilemma? Now, there's a couple of ways I could do this. Unfortunately, there's really no swap functionality for this stablecoin within the Tangem wallet. Otherwise, I would probably just like swap it to Solana or something like that that I could pull onto. So if I don't have, let me look in this wallet here real quick. For example, in Ethereum, well, I don't see swap. I mean, there's sometimes, well, they used to have a swap, but exchange. Okay, they used to call it swap. Now I guess they call it exchange. So there is functionality within Tangem, but limited. It depends on the crypto. Not every crypto has all of the same functionality. So in the case, and I'm doing multiple wallets here, right? I've got more than one wallet that I'm managing in the app, right? You can see. So I'm not going to swap or transform the Tron-based Tether in my wallet. I'm just going to transfer it somewhere. All right. And so let's go back over here. And I've done this before. I'm in some of my previous live streams. But where can I make a deposit of Tron-based Tether? Well, Binance US to the rescue. Binance US, if I make a deposit of Tether, I have several options. So under network here, if I pull this down, I have lots of different options for Tether. Right now, if we look over in Coinbase, and I want to deposit some Tether, let's do it this way. If I want to make a deposit of some Tether, they only have one option, right? They do not have any alternate network options, right? Only send US Tether ERC20, right? But in Binance US, I can send Tether on the AVAX, Beacon, Binance Smart Chain, Ethereum, Polygon, Solana, and Tron. There's what I'm looking for. See, I need a Tron address, right? So let's see. I'm going to just show you from here. I'm going to take that Tether, and I'm going to send it to Binance US. I'll tap send. And then I'll open up my camera, and I'll scan that Tron-based address. And then I'll just go ahead and send it all. And I need the right card, right? I got 3 different Tangem wallet cards here. I need the current wallet that I've got open. That's this card. So we'll go ahead and hit send. And then it wants me to put the card to the back of the phone. I'll do that. and off it goes. All right. So we'll see that there's an outgoing transaction from my wallet, that I've spent all that tether, or I've transferred the tether out of the wallet. Now we can go over here and just kind of wait, and we'll see the tether come in. It's not going to take it too long because the Tron network is pretty fast. Let's see. George from CryptoDad's had 9,000 people in his chat, and he said Gary's probably been on the phone all day explaining to so many it wasn't him. 2FA important and hard wallet is important as well. W, thank you for that question. I don't see any Lightning channels in the Tangem app. I recently started using Tangem card. It's my first cold storage wallet. I like it so far. Which is the best hardware wallet? That's a question that there's really no answer to that. It's kind of like asking, what's the best watch? What's the best phone? There are so many different use cases. There are so many different levels of expertise with people. I don't know who you are. I don't know if you're an advanced user or a newcomer. So I can't just say what's the best hardware wallet. I always get, people always ask me that. Yes, they do. Just like Bill Murray when he was Earl of Sandwich in that SNL sketch. Someone said, were the Sandwich Islands named after you? And Bill Murray goes, no, everybody asks me that. Okay. All right, let's do a refresh here. I love that sketch, by the way. There we go. There's that Tron that were the tether that we got it there. So we got the tether. Now, I could withdraw this from, it used to be easy to withdraw your US dollar from Binance US, but they've kind of closed off some of their fiat off-ramp channels. So now what I do is I just want to get all this over to Coinbase. Well, I still have the same problem. Actually, I don't. I'm sorry. The problem is slightly different now because once that tether, that Tron-based tether, hits my Binance US account, it becomes like Joker's Wild. Now I can withdraw it in any format, right? It's just like generic tether now. So I could transfer this tether over to my Coinbase account if I wanted to. The problem here is if I simply transfer it over to my Coinbase account, and it has to be in ERC20 format. Let's max it out here, and we take off the decimal. They don't like decimals. We'll hit that preview. Well, it's going to cost me $8. I really don't want to have to lose $8 out of my 130 for that transfer. So even though I can send it into Coinbase now because I've got the tether in the right format, it's still too expensive. I'm not going to do it this way. What I like to do is swap it for Solana because Solana is cheap, and fast. Right, so let's swap our tether for Solana, and I'll do the 100%. I'll hit buy, and now I have Solana. So the trade barely cost me anything. People talk about the tax implications of a swap or a trade. Well, I didn't really make any profit on that deal. I had 130 in Tether, and now I have 130 in Solana. So there's really no capital gains or losses to speak of. There is, that whatever that, couple of pennies may be, something I need to account for, but I'm not worried that I'm getting taxed on like a straight swap transfer of an even amount, right? I'm not having to pay a bunch of taxes on that. I do have to report it, but it's not hurting me. I'm not getting taxed to death on a one-to-one transfer with, no profit involved, right? So I will have some profit when I cash out in Coinbase, but, just swapping crypto one-to-one is not something that you should really worry about when you're just converting cryptos back and forth. So let's go over to Coinbase now, and instead of depositing Tether, let's deposit Solana. All right, let's get our Solana address. Let's go back over to Binance US, and now that we've got the crypto in Solana format, or we've bought Solana, let's go ahead and just do that withdrawal, and we'll max it out. We'll take those decimals off, and we'll paste in the address there of my Coinbase Solana account. Let's hit preview. It's only $1. It's a bit high, higher than usual, but it's better than $8. Let's hit confirm. And I need my two-factor authentication from my Google Authenticator. So let's get that in there. All right, and off it goes. And that's not going to take very long either. I do need to confirm this with an email. So I have a withdrawal address here. I'm sorry, that's a withdrawal confirmation, which I acknowledged, and now the withdrawal is enabled going forward, right? You can see here that I have 83 cents available, 128 unavailable because it's being transferred out. No updates on Ledger stacks. Yeah, I wish that Ledger was giving me inside info, but they're not. I've just decided not to think about stacks. Just forget it. I don't know. I don't know what you would compare that to, but it's a lot easier just to not think about it and then be surprised when they announce it than to agonize over it every day. It's been over a year now, so I'm not going to waste my energy worrying about when the stacks is coming. I don't mean to make light of your question. I'm just telling you that's my attitude, is I could care less about the stacks. It's money that I spent over a year ago. I've spent more on coffee since then. I'm not really worried about it. They're when the stacks is available, they'll send it to me. And if they don't get it, if something ever happens, they'll give me my money back, right? I ordered 2 of them, and I already got canceled 1 of them to get refunded, right? So I'm just it's not something that keeps me up at night. BTC ETF approval, we don't know yet. I mean, we can check over here and just check the pages. I don't see it. No, the top story is still what we covered earlier, so we don't have any ETF approvals yet. Kenny mentioned that they'll most likely wait till after the U.S. markets are closed to make the announcement. They'll probably wait till 4. They'll have to give us an answer one way or the other, right? And of course, there's a lot of people, it's not going to make the market go up. It's not going to make the market go down. We saw that on the initial news of the fake approval yesterday, that markets did go up, right? That doesn't mean that they're going to go up again today, because no one can ever predict the markets. But it's pretty obvious that the approval of the spot Bitcoin ETF is going to be good for the market, even short-term and long-term, right? Because we watched the price of Bitcoin spike to a new 52-week high after the fake announcement yesterday. So, but we don't know yet. There's all this speculation, right? So that's where we're at. Let's go over to our Coinbase account. Let's refresh here. I don't know what's taking this so long. Is it just me? Someone's mentioning that Tangem doesn't give you a whole lot of information. Thank you for that, Joseph. I appreciate your donation, as always. And oh, I just got a text from the president. The ex-president wants me to donate. Junk mail. Okay. Oh, I can't get this thing to refresh. I don't know what's going on here. Well, that was weird. Let's try just pulling up Coinbase again and see where we stand. I just tried to refresh my Coinbase, and I got, okay, it's in there now. All right. So now we can also just assume that I transferred some Bitcoin in there. You saw me do a Bitcoin transfer earlier. By the way, let's go over to the address and see if my transaction came through or not. Is that mine? That's $5.08. Let's see here. Oh, well. What did it come out to be? Let's look on the Explorer. Now, this is my outgoing transaction. It doesn't have it in dollars, unfortunately. Let's look back here. I'm pretty sure that's mine. Let's take a look. Let's go here. Yeah, it's the same fee. Remember, my fee was $12.84. And it came from, well, that's weird. Okay, to Satoshi. Oh, that's. I think that's my change going back. Let's go here. Let's look at my outgoing. 7JX. Is that me? Yeah, that's me. Boom. So I've just transferred some Bitcoin into the Satoshi Nakamoto Genesis wallet. Yay! Yeah, and then look at the other people too. They were like, most people are like, oh, I'm going to put 25 cents in and pay a $3 fee. No, not me. Like, I boldly jumped in. Oh, somebody did $5 with a $4 fee. He must have like lowered his fee and like waited for a really long time. You can reduce your fees much lower. There's an adjustment when you're sending Bitcoin, but when you adjust your fee really low, it could take a long time for it to verify on the blockchain. It could take hours to days. So if you're moving your Bitcoin from your wallet to an exchange, if you want to trade, I would not recommend trying to get the lowest fee possible out of your Bitcoin wallet. You're going to go crazy waiting for your Bitcoin. I just use the default. But there I am on the blockchain. Hooray. All right, let's go back to our Coinbase account. So like I said, we'll just assume that I put some Bitcoin in here. So let's do a Bitcoin cash out, right? I've got Sol and Bitcoin. Let's start with the Bitcoin. Let's go to, I can go over here and I just go up to trade, right? I'm in advanced Coinbase, right? There's advanced and regular. You get cheaper fees when you're in advanced Coinbase, right? So here's our Bitcoin US dollar. And let's do market and let's say sell, right? We're selling our Bitcoin. And then I'll hit max and it's $54 worth of Bitcoin. And I'm only paying 30 cents to swap it, right? So once it's there, you don't have to worry so much. You know, the fee may have been high to get it there. That's this from my video yesterday. But once I've got the Bitcoin in my Coinbase account, the trading fee for advanced Coinbase is pretty cheap. All right, so let's hit sell BTC. All right, let's go check our portfolio and let's do a refresh if it'll let me do that. All right, so there's $54 in my US dollar account. Now we've got that Sol. Remember, this was my 130 in stablecoin that I wanted to cash out. So I've managed to get it into my Coinbase account. So let's go ahead and trade that. So I'm going to need to switch over to Sol US dollar or Sol Bitcoin. Let's go back over here to US dollar. All right, there's BTC USD. Oops, sorry, Sol. I need Sol. Pardon me. Sol USD. Let's do sell. We've got market already chosen here. Let's say max. So I'm going to get 127.37 cents. It's going to cost me 70 cents. Another fee. Someone, I think in my live stream had brought out, he saw me do a transfer and he's like, can you imagine if the bank charged you that big of a fee for a transfer? And I was like, what do you mean? The bank's always ganking you. Well, I go to my own bank where I have my own money and I want them to give me a cashier's check for my rent. They charge me $5, right? I was paying my car payment earlier today online, and or was it Geico? I think it was the car payment. And they were like, you want to pay with your bank account or with your ATM card? Well, if you want to pay with your ATM card, we're going to charge you $3.50. So don't tell me that the legacy financial system doesn't hit us with charges all the time. The reason that Bitcoin blockchain fees are very high right now is there's so much activity on the Bitcoin blockchain. It's kind of I can't think of the right word for it, but it's a collective charge, right? We're using the Bitcoin network, and we can't really use it for free, or no one would maintain it. So the way the Bitcoin blockchain was designed was to reward people that actually run the network, right? Everybody's a volunteer, right? I'm volunteering to use the Bitcoin network to transfer my Bitcoin back and forth. Other people are running miners. They are volunteers that get a reward for maintaining the network. So this is not some faceless corporation that's stealing, our money from us for every little thing we do. This is a community thing. But a lot of people say, oh, the Bitcoin's too high, I'd rather use my bank, the people that charge you $5 to, get your own money, right? Okay, so did that work? I'm talking too much. Yes, now we have dollars. Now, what are we going to do with that? Well, I'll just choose withdraw, and then I'm going to go to cash out. I can hit cash out all. I always like to leave a little bit in there. I don't know. Sometimes it fails when I try to cash out every last penny. Must be a fraction of a penny makes a difference or whatever. Let's hit continue. All right, now I have a lot of options here. I have several bank accounts attached to my Coinbase account. I can do my Chase Bank for $3 and I'll get it right away, which is what I'm going to do. Now, it's somewhat late in the day. If I were to simply do the Chase 1 to 3 business days, I might get it today. I might not see it until tomorrow. Usually, if I want to do it this way, if I'm pulling out a whole bunch of money and I don't want to pay the fee and it's not an emergency, I'll try to hit up the account early in the day. Usually, if I can make a withdrawal at 9, I can usually see it in the afternoon. But in this case, we want our money right away. And here we go again, right? This is Chase Bank paying me a fee. I believe, well, I don't know if this is Chase or Coinbase. I think it's Coinbase. Charging me that immediate withdrawal. So I don't understand that about banks. If banks are closed on Sunday, right? If they have business days, I can only transfer, if I make a transfer on a Sunday, I'm not going to see it in my account until Monday or Tuesday. How come I can do immediate transfers, by paying extra? It's if they can do it 24/7, why don't they just do it 24/7? That's weird. Anywho, let's go ahead and pull this one off. Boom. So I'm losing a little bit more there with the Coinbase fee, the cash out fee, because I want it immediately in my bank. And then I can go over to Chase and take a look. And it's in my account. Pretty cool. All right. Now, let's see. Here we go. Got some questions here. Please let me know if you can install 2 Tangem wallets on one phone. Thanks. Well, yes, I was showing that earlier. So if we're in the Tangem app, and I just showed you my bank account, nothing to steal. I got nothing to steal. Okay, so this is the Tangem app, and I'm managing a wallet here, you can see. And if I swipe left, or right, like it's moving to the left, going to the right, you can see I have another wallet in here. And then if I swipe again, you can see I have a different wallet in here. So I'm currently managing 3 wallets, and they're related to 3 different sets of cards. So I showed you the cards earlier. These are the 3 cards. Each of these cards is managing a different Tangem wallet in the app. So the answer to your question is yes, you can manage more than one wallet in the Tangem app at the same time, which is cool because I really don't want to walk around, with all, this wallet if I go to a coffee shop. Right? So I can leave this card at home when I leave the house and maybe only carry one of the cards. So that means that even if someone puts a gun to my head at the coffee shop and says, even if they may not even know, let's hope that they don't even know you can manage more than one wallet. But let's just assume that, I'm under duress and someone looks at my Tangem app and sees, hey, you got a whole bunch of crypto in here, send it to me right now. I'd say, well, I can't. I don't have the card with me. I have to have the card to make this wallet work. The only card that I took to the coffee shop was this one, and that's the one that gives access to this wallet. Right? So that's one of the good things about being able to manage multiple wallets within the app, right? You don't have to put your main balance at risk. And I think you could actually hide the wallet too if you wanted to. And if you are already managing one and you want to manage another, tap the 3 dots at the top and just hit Add New Wallet. Right? And then it wants me to scan a brand new set of cards to create a wallet. All right, which I won't do. I was going to do that Tangem restore. We ran out of time. I'm talking too much about the news and all these transfers. But I did want to cover this. Can you use Tangem without face or fingerprints? I think you said, yeah, you can disable the metrics, right? If we go to app settings, where is that? Keep wallet in the app, enable link to the wallets, biometric. Enable to link all the wallets in the 2 Tangem app. Biometric authentic will be required for unlocking the app transactions. Keep the wallet in the app. Oh, okay, here it is. Save access code. So I can disable that. Any further whoa, I don't know if I want to do that or not. Oh, okay, right. So basically, if I do this, I'm disabling all of the biometrics, right? So no fingerprint, no thumbprint, no Face ID. I would need my access code to open the app in the same way that when I open the app the first time, well, it's already open now. Let's close it. So if we try to open the app cold, it's going to ask for my Face ID. If I remove the biometrics and I try to open the app cold, it's going to want my access code that I created when I set up this wallet, right? Or set up the app, right? So you are forced to set up the access code when you first set up the app and the wallets. When you set up the first wallet and you initialize the cards, you must create an access code. And you need that access code whenever you open the Tangem app, unless you enable biometrics. If you don't want to use your Face ID, you don't want to use your fingerprint, then you will be required to enter your access code every single time you try to open the app. That's the security, right? And I believe when you try to send out a transaction, you will also be required to enter your access code again and then tap the card, right? Because you saw when I sent out that earlier transaction, I had to Face ID and lift the card, right? So it makes it really cumbersome to use the wallet without biometrics. But I mean, if you've got Face ID enabled on your phone, then why not enable it on your app? It has nothing to do with the security of the wallet. It's basically just the security of being able to access the app. Are you the type of person that enters their PIN code every time they need to unlock their phone? That's psychotic. I mean, who's going to enter their PIN code every time they like pull open their phone, man? I open my phone like 15, 20, 30 times a day. Do I really want to put in my PIN code every time I do that? That'd just be very inconvenient. But anyway, I know crypto, I'm worried. Oh, I don't want to. I get it. Everyone's paranoid about their crypto. I don't want my fingerprint. I want my face. The hacker will know my face. No, they won't. They won't. The security of the wallet is in the card. The biometrics is just related to whether or not you can open the app or make a send, but you still need the card to do the sends, right? No one is going to like tie you to a chair and open up the app with your face. Well, maybe if you are tied to a chair and you have your card with you and you don't want the guy that's got you tied to the chair to be able to use your app, then maybe the access code would be better security. I stand corrected. UTX is in Tangem. Okay, so that's the last question. I really wanted to get to this domino thing, but I just didn't have a chance. So some cryptos have transaction histories. None in there. Let's see. Yeah, see, so here's my transaction history, but if I tap on it, it just takes me to the blockchain. I think that's the transaction hash you're talking about, but not every crypto works like that. If, as I said, it just depends on the crypto. So if we go to this Tether, it doesn't have a transaction history, and I have to go to the Tron blockchain to see the activity in the wallet. Yeah, and you don't have coin control like you do in Ledger Live, right? I've never used coin control, but some people want to. Maybe they'll add a finer UTX control in the Tangem app. But as it stands, I don't even think they ask you to adjust fees as far as I saw. I wasn't really, I have to admit that I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, I don't see any adjustments here for fees. Well, yeah, it's getting late, guys. I'm going to have to sign out. Come back and I'll probably talk about, I'm switching my phone and there was a phishing ad for Solana giveaways. Yeah. Let me go over here. Once again, I want to thank everybody for being here. I know there's going to be some big news later today. I always do this stream on Wednesdays. I like to talk about wallets. I hope you got something out of it. I hope you got a little insight into how you move and manipulate crypto between wallets and exchanges for cashing out and, you know, that kind of thing. My channel focuses on education with a little bit of news and humor thrown in. Thank you so much, everyone that was here, everyone that asked a question. If you had a burning issue and I did not see your question, then I would encourage you to shoot me an email. My email is in the description below. Vedang Tank, thanks for that subscription. Down at the very bottom of the description, I have several ways to get a hold of me. Please shoot me an email. I know it's a little more involved than just doing a chat, but if you have an issue and I missed your question, please send me an email. I'll do my best to get back to you if it's a reasonable question. Don't forget, I do a live stream every Saturday night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please join me for the live stream from Michigan, where you can throw out questions, and I'll do my best to get them answered. And I'll be back next week on Wednesday for the Hardware Wallet Roundup. Hope to see you there. Best of luck, everybody. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Hopefully we'll get that ETF approval later today. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, I would appreciate it. When you subscribe, there's a little bell that you can click. That will allow you to be alerted whenever I post new content. Once again, thanks for joining me, and hope to see you again soon.